Previously on Fun,
the shirts. You were
Food,
saying it was a
and
uniform,
Travel.
and it's
Essentially,
limited editions.
creating uniformity in the class is helpful to creating cohesion in the group. And I'll do a run of shirts every couple of years, and they're limited editions. I just do a single run, so whoever gets them gets them. I don't sell them outside the class. So you have to be a student to wear the shirt. And my father. My father fought in the Philippines, and this says honoring Robert M. Makita and all those who bravely fought for the liberation of the Philippines. As I mentioned, he fought from landing in Leyte on October 20th all the way through to the end of the war, pursuing the Japanese north to Luzon. So again, he already knows when I begin to block that he's going to lose line. So he's already beginning to do his next technique. If he's waiting until he makes the contact, he'll never be able to counter it. There's a saying in the Filipino martial arts, you'll feel like a genius, but it's the training method. Okay? Because it just makes sense. It's century upon century of figuring out how to fight an opponent in an intelligent way. So this is sort of a display case that just has random things in it. Over the years, they've kind of shown up. I think one of the things that people don't notice, it's written here, but I don't think a lot of people read it. This is my longtime student, 21-year student, Joe Hyams, who represented the martial arts. This picture was actually taken in Joe's driveway up in Bel Air. He's breaking a brick as part of a test. The test is administered by Bruce Lee, and the person taking the photograph is Bruce Lee, which is pretty cool that you're actually looking through Bruce Lee's eyes. So this is talking about my father, and I mentioned stuff about him following the guerrillas into the jungle and dealing with that. So this is just something that students can read. This is really special to me. This is a student of mine whose remains, actually a small container of his remains, are up on our little shrine up there. Tim Nash was a very long time student, 26-year private student. And he very suddenly contracted cancer and died within a week. And he was one of my closest friends. And this is his mother who came to the school, and we posthumously awarded him the black belt in art. This is our senior most female student, Natasha Francis, who's also a black belt in the arts. She's terrific. She's a visual effects producer. She's up in Canada working right now. This is a newspaper article back from 1986 with my old training partner, Burton Richardson, and I. This is me throwing a kick. That's like 1983, I think. He's also important to me. One of my closest, dearest friends, and also a great teacher, was a fencing teacher of mine. He was also an international coach. And these are used during competition. You can give a guy a yellow card, you can give a guy a red card, you can give a guy a black card. These are his cards that he carried in his pocket during competition. So he gave those to me just before his passing. And this is kind of funny. On the way to Vegas, there's a bridge, and the ditch underneath it is called Kali Ditch. I hit the brakes one day as I was driving. I got to get a picture of that. So we always say that's where we dump all the bodies. So that's pretty much it. Oh, this is interesting. This was made for me back in 1978. Back then, the school was called the Makita Institute of Martial Art, and one of my students handmade this little medallion for me and gave it to me as a gift. And it's really means a lot to me, so I keep it in here so it doesn't get damaged. So that's it. So now he can block me. Okay, now he can actually cover, but if his hands are to the side, he can't. So if I swipe your stick from you, and I give this to him, first thing is don't let me get in arm's reach. And remember how I said that she already knew I was too close? You know I can't reach you right now. Now you feel, okay, that sort of spider sense, you need to get in touch with that. Don't ever let me get this close. And if I start getting this close, just bring your hands up. Listen, I don't want to have anything to do with you. Make sure you're protecting yourself. Now, I asked you before, if you're running down the street and you fall, you put out your fists in your hands, because you can hit incredibly powerfully with your open hand and not injure your hand. So you'd want to immediately, as soon as I step into range, don't go early, or immediately you just want to go whack and just palm me in the chest. So you just want to whack me in the nose. And again, go from a place, remember that sagittal plane, you don't perceive this very well. So if you just go really straight, and I'm choosing, by the way, a palm because the escalation level right now is just that you feel threatened. By the way, as soon as I step within your space, you can act in your own defense. You do not have to wait to be attacked. How stupid would it be for you to have to wait for me to attack you with 50 years of experience? That's just moronic, okay? So I make you feel threatened and I begin to step into your space, you can act in your own defense and do so in a simple, hard to perceive way. Whack me in the face. When I go over like this, when I open my eyes, you should just be not there anymore. Just be gone. Okay? Now, if you have a child, if I'm a man defending my wife or my child and I have something else to consider, now I might need to add some other attacks to this to make sure that person doesn't come back into the equation. Rather than palming him in the face, I can kind of come up like this, and if he puts his palm up like this, you'll see that because my hand goes like this, I just thumb him in the eye right there. It's not going to hurt me because the way I'm designing my hand is now if I push, it just goes right through. If I put my hand like this, I'm going to break my thumb. Okay, but if I go like this, I can do it really quickly. So I reach up and I just break him in the eye, and then I hit him with my elbow, and I hit him with my knee, and I hit him with my elbow again. And every one of those attacks after that thumb could be punitive assault and more years in prison if it wasn't called for. You see what I mean? So I don't want to base my self-defense on rehearsed sequences of techniques. I want to be able to make choices at every step of the way. Is this appropriate to the circumstance? Was this called for? For example, I have to defend myself in front of people who are not stressed out, who are not afraid. They're going to go, well, I wouldn't have done. They're all going to have that armchair commando thing where they're going to be able to say, well, I would have done this. And they're going to say, well, did this call for me blinding him for life? That's a pretty serious choice to make for another human being. Unless it's called for, you might not be able to defend yourself. So it might make more sense for me to palm him, slap him. I didn't intend to slap him in the air, officer. I really didn't. But that's where I aimed it. Whack! Slap him in the air. Oh, he's going to be totally disoriented and devastated by that hit to the ear.